Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. Apologies for the lateness of this video. Got back from West Ham last night. Just had such a busy day with my daughter. Bloody Easter egg trowels and making things for Easter. And literally, she's just gone to bed. And I've got a chance to talk about yesterday's game. Listen, let me just start. Before I go into the game, let me just say how fantastic it was to go back to the stadium. I've not been for a couple of years. Obviously, you know, my wife works weekends and stuff like that, so it's very hard for me to get to games, and to experience that again last night, and the noise, the atmosphere, and you know, just straight away that love and passion and feeling, and you know, missing going to games came back. You know, and I got a real, you know, taste for it again. I definitely will be going back very soon. Great to bump into people like Gatesy from Falls from Irons, and obviously Gonzo. Always great to have a little, you know, meet up with those guys. In terms of the game, like, the lineup was expected, and probably, you know, the strongest lineup we could have put out, barring Lanzini, who was obviously suspended for the game. They fielded, you know, more or less their strong team as well. Jerome Boatangs, Dembele himself, Luca Paquetti, you know, all these players that we knew was going to play. First half, we sort of was feeling each other out. I think we played a little bit nervously, and I think both teams were trying to feel each other out. And this is what you get, you know, at this quarter-final stages. If we are to go into the semi-final, you get that bit of nerves, you know, because you start feeling what's there and, you know, what's at stake, and you don't play as freely as you can. Players like Declan Rice, a good game, but a player that was definitely holding back because, you know, he had that yellow card and he didn't want to fully, you know, there were times when Lyon would break him through, and you know, you had to hold back on that challenge, which, you know, in the next game on Thursday, obviously he can do that challenge. We had a few good chances. Craig Dawson, absolutely fantastic last night, played a beautiful pass to Ben Rama, who sort of had the first sort of chance of the game, really. We sort of restricted them in the first half to long shots, nothing of real danger. We played well, and we was growing into the game at times, and then obviously the killer bit was the sending off. And listen, what can I say about it? For me, yes, it's a yellow. It's a yellow. I think, you know, and that's at the worst. It could have been a yellow. People are sitting there arguing. I've seen on Twitter, you know, the Spurs fans coming out of the woodwork because they're doing a bit well at the minute, and they don't care about West Ham, but they're the first ones to tweet about us. You know, they were saying, you know, West Ham are moaning and West Ham are blaming it on a red card, and bloody hate Spurs fans. It wasn't a red. It wasn't a red. It was, you know, a slight touch of the shoulder. Inexperience from Cresswell. You know, in these European games, people like Dembele, you know, they know how to buy these things. They, you know, the constant with the going down with cramp and stuff like that. And we know he played the game. He winked at the camera. I didn't see it in the stadium at the time. Obviously, it's only what I see after the game. Absolute fume in the stadium, and it really killed the game in our sense, you know, because at that point you knew the second half we would have to, you know, he brought on Johnson, took off Ben Rama, and would have to be at times in the game we'd have to, you know, we're going to have to sit in deep and try and catch them on the counter attack. To our credit though, we did come out. We scored quite early in the second half. Bowen, absolutely loved the man. You know, 2-2 for him now, 14 goals. You know, good chance he's going to go on at 15, 16 goals, which is incredible, you know, considering he's had a few bits of injuries and he's been playing on the right wing. Bit fortunate, you know, a little bit of a mix-up at the back there in between their two centre-backs, but he put it in, he did well. 1-0, stadium erupted, loudest I've ever heard the London Stadium. Obviously, I wasn't at the Seville game, so I can't, you know, compare what that was like, and I can imagine what it was like, but that was amazing. Their goal was a bit lucky. You know, the ball was played in. He did well, the winger, when he came on. He played the ball in. Ariola had the touch, which touched onto Fredericks' foot, and then it went straight into Ndombele's feet. Apart from that, very much long shots to that point for them. But yeah, the goal did come. Had a few little half chances. We had a big chance when Bowen burst down the wing, played the ball over, and obviously Antonio jumped over the ball. I think, was it Zuma or was it Dawson late with the corner? That was unlucky as well. But the referee absolutely killed the game. He really, really did. It's just the constant, like, when did the rule come in that you stop the play for cramp? And as soon as Lyon knew that they was going to do that, they was going to play that and frustrate the game and slow the game down. And listen, I don't have any nice words to say about the young fellow who ran on the pitch during one of our rare counter attacks. What an idiot! Basically, what an idiot. It's just no need for it. The kid's being exposed now on Twitter and stuff like that, and all over social media. It's just no need for it. It's just serious unintelligence or drunkenness. I don't know what you put it down to, but it's something we don't need. Not funny. I don't know what you're trying to prove. By running on the pitch, it's not funny anymore. And especially in that situation, it just wasn't needed. I think 1-1 was a fair result on reflection, obviously, because of, we had 10 men and, the fact that we did play with 10 men for such a long part of that game. It was always going to be a big ask to not concede. It was listen, Dawson and Azuma were incredible on the night, fantastic. And like I said, the goal was slightly unfortunate for me. Looking at Lyon, good passing team. I'll give them that. They passed the ball around nicely. Sort of at times was controlling play. But I'll be honest with you, nothing that really frightened me. I wasn't, when I've seen West Ham play Liverpool, Chelsea's, Man City's, and even, like really good, good like Wolves team a couple of years ago and like Leicester a couple of years ago, you'd be thinking, if he gets the ball, he could really, really hurt us. There was nothing like that for me. Like I didn't sit there and think, I wasn't scared. Like, don't let him get the ball. Oh no, like you have them moments when Lukaku used to get on the ball against us. Like, no, don't let him get the ball. We've got a few players that'll be back next Thursday. Like I say, Lanzini will be back to playing that sort of a central attacking midfielder role. Declan Rice won't have that yellow card sort of hovering over his head. And we need Lanzini just because he's more comfortable in possession. Again, I always say he's trusted by Moyes, he's trusted by Rice. The Cresswell situation is unfortunate. I don't know whether we will appeal it or not. I assume we will. And see what happens. I think the wink puts us in our favour, and I'm sure we'll put an argument across that there was a foul on Bowen building up to that. We may get lucky. We may get lucky. Who knows? And hopefully we do. Cresswell's going to be a big miss. If not, Johnson, I would assume, will fill in at left back because God forbid I don't want Masuaku playing there, and then maybe he'll bring Soufal in. But again, Fredericks did nothing wrong. He was unlucky with the goal. Like I said, hit his foot rather than him making an error there. We just need to get a bit more killer in the box. Ben Rama very frustrating last night, and I've been a big fan of his, and give him a lot of time. But that's one of the first times I've actually seen him live play. And I can understand that frustration around him. He overdoes it. That extra take on, that extra step over rather than releasing the ball at key times. Also, Antonio, it's so frustrating. Yes, he works hard, and I agree. I've seen a few reviews, Nicky's review from West Ham Fan TV. He's lost about half a yard of pace, I think, and I think he's been figured out a little bit. Desperately needs a goal. I want nothing more than to see him score a goal in Lyon to send us through. I think we've got a chance. I think we've got a massive chance as well. I think we've got enough to beat them, but a home game over there, their fans will be there. They will know what they need. We need to be right up for it. Can't call it yet. Really can't call it. But we've got a massive chance. 1-1 is not a disaster. It's not away goals anymore. So it ain't like that goal counts for 2 for them. Yeah, all in all, quite an enjoyable game, and spoilt by a referee that shouldn't even be refereeing, in my opinion. I'll be back tomorrow evening. I'll probably do a little show talking about the Brentford game, building up for that, what I think we should do. Thick and fast videos coming. If you like the video, guys, please comment, like and subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. We're still in it. Let's go.